Etsy shops have really awful SEO and still get so many sales? We're going to be talking about why in this video. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So before we begin, please like this video, it does help me out a great deal, and also do not forget to subscribe for more Etsy weekly tips and tricks. So today is something that I have been asked a lot, and I feel like recently it's definitely been more of a thing where shops with really terrible SEO, and I mean really terrible SEO, still get sales, and why that happens. And don't look at it and go, well, I'm not going to bother with my SEO at all, because clearly this whole algorithm thing is broken, the Etsy algorithm is broken, and it's letting this person who just does not understand the basics of SEO to get a load of sales. Now, first of all, I just want to say, don't hate on other shops and other listings. Stay in your own lane. I know it's super annoying. I get that. As a full-time Etsy shop owner myself for so many years, it's been something that I look at and go, well, why? I don't understand. Why is this a thing? But honestly, there are reasons behind it. I'm going to be going into those in this video. So with the Etsy search algorithm, I'm not going to say SEO, but the Etsy search algorithm, there are loads of different factors apart from just the relevancy to the keywords that they are using in their listings. Now, I have got some notes. The biggest thing is recency, customer score, shipping price, translations and language, and shopper habits. All of these things openly affect the way that listings are ranked without actually being a physical keyword or tag. Now, the customer score is a really big one, and I think that this does affect the rank of so many Etsy shops more than what we know. And this is basically a factor of great reputation that ties into search placement. So basically, if you've got cases, you are letting customers down, you're not responding to messages, then you are going to be ranked less, as opposed to a shop that has super stellar, amazing customer service, has 5-star reviews, never had a case, and things like that. Now, I know that a lot of you are probably saying, well, that's not fair. I've had cases open for things that aren't my fault. I understand that. The biggest thing, I do have a video about it on my channel, but the biggest thing is to learn from it and move on. It's not going to affect you forever. But this could be a big reason why that shop that's got terrible SEO is actually ranking really well and still getting sales. Also, a big thing as well is that if a listing begins to get traction, and this could be traction from any place, it doesn't have to be from Etsy SEO, it could be from email lists, could be from social media, anywhere, or it's featured in a magazine or a blog. If a listing starts to get traction straight off the bat, and it was probably not even from Etsy SEO, it's probably from somewhere else if they've got really bad SEO and getting sales, once it starts to get traction, Etsy will pick up on that and say, oh, okay, this listing score is amazing, this conversion rate, people love this listing, so we're going to put it higher in the search results. And it's really like a bit of a chain reaction that begins to roll when you have a listing that straight off the bat is getting sales and views. It is something that snowballs and snowballs until you've got a listing that appears that it's got terrible SEO and is getting sales. So there is that factor to consider as well. Etsy and shoppers actually favour listings that are lower on shipping price. Then you also have the free shipping guarantee as well that does affect your search placement. There is that factor, as well as translation and language, which is also something where if you can translate a listing yourself into a different language, that does give you a slight boost as well. And the very last thing is also geographical location. If you are having a listing that is nearer to you than somewhere else or in your country, then you are going to be shown that first as well. So on Etsy, there's only really 2 or 3 factors that actually, bring in keywords into it, which is where that listing in particular, let's just call it a necklace listing, where that necklace listing actually falls down is probably because it's got really bad SEO. The keyword strategy isn't great, but it's doing stellar on all of these other things. Now, there is loads of other off Etsy things that can be happening here, and we don't know this from our stats. We don't know this ourselves. We're only looking at a listing and looking at it and going, it's got really bad SEO, yet it's getting sales. It may have been featured in a really popular magazine or a blog post or by a YouTuber or an influencer in some way, shape or form, which is why it's getting views and sales. It could also be in a really niche. It could be something so specific that there's only 1 or 2 listings of it on Etsy, eBay, Amazon, wherever else, and it's getting a lot of views because a lot of people are searching for that. It could be like a new keyword that they've actually hit on, or a new niche, and it could be getting sales because of that as well. They could have a very large social media following, and I would recommend going onto their shop and finding their socials and having a little investigate yourself and seeing where, and how their social media strategy is actually coming into it. Do they have a lot of people on their Instagram that they are posting to and they're getting people coming in? Do they do YouTube? What's the deal with their off Etsy marketing? They could also have a massive email list, and if you guys do not have an email list yourself, then don't forget to find my video on my channel as to why you need an email list now, and I actually show you exactly how to do it for free. But they could have a massive email list, and every time they put a listing in their shop, they could send an email out, and that is something to also consider as well. And also, this shop could be the authority in their space. It could be something that they've built a brand off of Etsy, and let's say, for example, it's a necklace with a musical note on it. They could be the authority in musical necklaces in their space, and it could be like a super niche, a super niche, a pinpoint niche that they Google, and maybe only their listing comes up and they've now become the authority over time in that space. This just goes to show, guys, that everything what I've just spoken about, it just goes to show that you cannot just look at a listing and say, this is the factors that are influencing how they're getting sales. There are so many other factors that actually play into it, but also it's a good lesson for us. It's a really good lesson for us. If we are sat there and we're saying, okay, well, Etsy's not working for us, then why can't we have a super big email list? Why can't we promote our items on social media? Why can't we send our items to a YouTuber or a blog or something like that? It's actually a good place to learn is by looking at other people's listings and going, hey, I'm looking at that as a shopper and I'm looking at that and thinking, well, why is that selling so well? So definitely there are a good few things to consider. I would always say don't compare yourself to the point of obsession. Really stay in your own lane, learn from what other shops are doing, but then regroup and come back to your own path. It can be really hard to actually sit there and compare ourselves to someone else all the time. So guys, I do hope you enjoyed that video. I do hope that you learned a fair few things in there as well. Do give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and also do not forget to get the 30 Days to a Kickbutt Etsy Shop workbook. That is in the description box below. And don't forget to also check out my Facebook group because I do go live in there every Friday. But for now, guys, I shall catch you in the next video. Bye, everyone.